Hey, what's up? This is Nicholas from Mixdown Magazine with Tepe and Dustin from Thrice.
Hello.
Freshly in the country for the first time in a decade?
Yeah.
Hi, welcome.
Hey.
How you guys feeling?
We're doing good. Glad to be back here.
Yeah.
It was, way overdue.
This is show number 4, I think, and you've the
Yes.
third sold out show. We talked about it before, but it must be really reaffirming to kind of come back after so long and be like, there's still this vibrant love for our bands.
It's awesome. It's just like you never know quite what to expect, especially if you haven't been somewhere in a while. But it's been cool. We honestly just feel bad that it's been so long. So
Yeah, I mean, and also selfishly, it's nice to be back here.
Yeah.
I love this country. I think we all appreciate it quite a bit. So, yeah, it's weird that we haven't been here. I don't know.
Well, there was
Lots of
some
circumstantial
mishaps,
stuff, but yeah, I mean, glad to be back. So.
Well, yeah, and it's funny, isn't it? Because where you can do certain markets 3 or 4 times on a record cycle if you're in the States, like viably, it's only you might be lucky to do down here and do Japan and Australia once on a record cycle because of just the cost to do it. So it is a little bit harder to do it. I want to talk about Palms for a second. It's a lot of bands have made a big song and dance about, hey, we're stepping away from it or we're breaking up, and then come back 24 months later and gone, hey, we're a band again. What I appreciated about Thrice taking a hiatus was very much not like, we're over, the band's done. It was like, hey, life's just in a different way right now, so we're going to step away from it. But
You're like the
back.
only person that actually gets that, though.
Really?
Like, yeah, like we were so clear in the communication, but everyone's like, dude, you guys broke up. I was like, it was real clear that we're not breaking up. We just don't know when we're coming back.
I mean,
But thank you.
But that's the thing. It was Poison the Well did the same thing. Hey, we're just going to stop being really active at the moment, but we'll come back when the time's right. Which I think is a way more adult way of handling that situation. It doesn't need to be as like, this is the final tour, this is your last chance. But did that, I mean, obviously...
Well, I think part of the problem was we named the last tour we did then the Farewell Tour, which we meant as like a bye for now.
Okay.
But I think that got interpreted as like bye forever.
Which is understandable, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we were as intentional as possible in trying to communicate this is a hiatus.
I think the farewell
Indefinite, but
poor
it is
choice
a
of
hiatus.
words.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, because I think I always knew that there was going to be another record, or there was going to be a, hey, Thrice is back in our lives kind of thing. And so my question surrounding Palms is, there must have been a bit of weight with To Be Everywhere. Did Palms feel more like, cool, okay, we're back, there's a bit of rhythm to it, like let's just kind of ease back into that process and hang out after playing shows and releasing another record, or...
It felt pretty similar to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm not remembering it right, but I mean,
Remember what?
like the process of making To Be Everywhere versus Palms. Like I mean, they were different process, but I don't feel like a fundamentally different process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think our process is more or less the same every time. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of just do what we do. It's the 4 of us kind of getting together and sharing ideas and trying to write songs together. You know, I think that's the basic idea, and that's always been the same.
I mean, I guess the things, I think they're kind of similar records in the sense that we made them both when one member was not close, and so they were similar in that way and different than
Yeah, I
everything
guess
else
so,
we've
yeah.
done.
Geographically.
We had, so we had to figure out different ways of communicating and.
Okay.
But we were also already in that phase of writing. Like, we'd already done that with To Be Everywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
I'm
okay.
saying that those two are actually pretty similar because we were in a new
Gotcha.
paradigm that continued.
I concur.
And now, the next record, we will all be close-ish again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? There's been a
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, Ed will be moving back he'll be in LA, so a little bit of a drive, but not a 7-hour drive.
But you guys are like obtainable.
Huh?
Obtainable.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's funny, so talking about that process, saying it's very much always kind of been the same. There's obviously been, I liken your career a lot to that of Radiohead, where it reaches a kind of turning point where I no longer know what to expect from a Thrice record. So when I talk about the change from artists to Visu to Alchemy to Beggars and so on and so forth. Is it just that it stopped being did you ever have those kind of, oh, we can't do that because it doesn't sound like Thrice moments, or was it just a self-awareness like we get to dictate what Thrice is, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
I think part of it was we were always pushing to do something new, and I think making artists was a big thing because when we made it, we were trying to push to do more than we got to end up doing.
Okay.
And we ran out of time, essentially. Like, it was like bad planning and stuff. And so we always felt like what?
The label breathing down.
I mean,
your neck?
not. It was like our fault. Like, we
Okay.
had tours planned, and
We basically penned ourselves in with a tour that we booked before we really even got in the studio.
Oh, no way. Okay.
So it was, yeah.
anyway, we learned our lesson. But we came out of that being like, I don't ever have that happen again.
Sure.
And so, but even at that point, we were always trying to push to something that was interesting to us at the time. And so I think that record is like the only one that had like, man, this has a little bit of it, just feels like we're not getting to the next place like we want to. And that's, I think, part of why VC was such a big shift. And then from VC, we were doing Alchemy. That's a huge weird shift, and after that it was just like kind of anything
Sure.
goes. And yeah.
Do you think that that's a testament to the longevity of Thrice?
What like why
let's just do our thing, and like let's not, like you saying about the shifting per album, but never feeling like you're recycling the same thing or kind of in a box being like, we have to adhere to this.
guy, we would all be really bummed out doing that,
Right.
so it just doesn't happen.
Sure. Talking gear-wise, what you guys have toured for a long time, you've also all been at the kind of forefront of what I look at as far as forward technology with guitar gear, especially when I think about the Variax technology that you used to use, and I know you guys are like Helix guys now.
I'm Helix.
You're
They're
Helix.
both doing the HX effects and some other stuff.
Okay, cool. So what's the one piece of gear that right now in your touring rig you couldn't live without?
For me, I mean, I only have two pieces of gear in the touring rig, so that's nice. So I have my custom Stingrays from Music Man, and then the Helix, and
that's just
that's
direct?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I freaking love the Helix, and I love those Music Man. I definitely feel like the first time ever, like I very settled in like, this is all doing exactly what I want it to do. It sounds great. It works the way I want.
Cool.
So
Streamlined
That's
and
great.
easy.
yeah, it sounds ridiculously good.
Oh yeah.
Every day I plug in and hear it in the ears, and I'm just like, that's good. That's my tone.
And after years of playing, you guys were like AC30 guys for a long time, and I'm sure that,
He still plays AC30s.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of, it is astounding to realize that technology has reached a point where it sounds, it's just, I mean, it's more economical, I guess, more than anything, but it still sounds great.
Yeah, I'm fairly like, I don't know. I think Tepe is more of a personality to want to hold on to the physical amp for various reasons, and I'm pushing to find like the easiest, like best way to get something done in a
Dustin's
way.
a very practical man.
Yeah.
What's your gear?
Well, I think it's a little different though for you because you sing.
That's actually very true.
And so, not that the guitar is secondary, but it's you have something else happening. Whereas for me,
And
it's
so I'm
like,
trying to streamline to be like, I need this to work
Yeah.
very simply and do a lot of things
And
at
you
once.
can't do the jumping around,
Yes.
turning my reverb off and my delay off and this and that and everything, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, and also like for me, since the guitar is what I do, I mean, there is something to be said about like the physical
No, yeah.
aspect of the sound coming out of the amp and everything. And so, yeah, I'm not sure if I'll ever get over that part of it. But
I mean, if the thing is, it's like if you don't have a driving reason to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
If it
that's
works, it
kind of
works.
exactly, and that's kind of just like my life philosophy. Anyways, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know. So.
Sure.
For me, like a lot of it too was like, especially touring like overseas and stuff, like knowing that I don't need to show up and hope that it's the right AC30. Like
Yeah, I mean
every
that
freaking
is
time.
that is nice. Like especially when we're doing these.
Consistency and save.
Yeah, because we're with these, especially with like overseas stuff, we rent gear for every show, or not gear, but the backline, so the amps and all that. And yeah, I mean, for me, I'm getting different amps every single night. They sound different, and they feel different. They react a little differently, and so it's always an adjustment. But yeah, I think that consistency, at least overseas, is, I think, nice.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, when I'm at home and I have my own amp every night, and I know exactly how it's gonna perform.
Yeah,
it's fine. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We talked about for this tour, you guys did the survey for picking the set list, and it's obviously a daunting one at this point with 9 albums and EPs.
10, right? 10.
10?
10.
10 albums.
I only know because I know the next one is 11. So.
There you go. And
I count backwards.
EPs, and then even an array of B-sides when I think about Flags of Dawn, when I think about Red Telephone, and then even the new EP, which is just the B-sides from Palms, right? Kind of?
Yeah.
They're A-sides that are on a different disc.
Because you didn't want to do a 16-track album.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. That's
No,
cool.
it was like, we really want to put all 14. And then we're like, I feel like they're not going to all get their due, and so let's make this separate thing. So, and it's, as a fan, like, it's nice to get something down the line too, I think, so.
That was me with, like, when the Red Sky EP came out, and it was like, here's these 2 songs from Visu that I can understand why they weren't on the record, but I was really happy that they existed, if that made sense.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing, I suppose you've only got, hey, let's do 50 minutes, and then if you've got spare songs, then I guess that goes from there.
Yeah, we wanted the EP this time to actually be more than just a snippet, and so the 4 songs is fun.
Cool. But obviously there's such a wide volume of songs to choose from, and so doing the survey was a very clever idea of doing it, but on a regular headliner for you guys, is it quite a daunting task to go, how do we construct a set list that kind of is a glimpse of all of Thrice?
Yeah, it's always daunting. I mean,
It's not even just that. Like, it's what do we want to play? What do we think people want to hear?
there's so many different
How many
logistics.
like trying to get something, at least a song from every record is even just hard at this point, because that's, if you do one song, you know, like it adds up. And then we have a bunch of different tunings. Well, actually, not a bunch of different tunings, but now there's plenty.
It's a bunch of different
There's a bunch of tunings, but then there's also like songs. Almost all of the songs now, in the past couple records, one of us will have like a baritone and the other one doesn't, and whatever. So it becomes a massive nightmare trying to make it like flow.
Right.
So, yeah.
I didn't even think about that. 'Cause again,
it's a big factor.
Yeah, and the tuning aspect of it is, it's like, well, if we want to throw this cut in, I need to have this guitar, and I need to have this guitar, or I need to have this patch set up.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder than just let's throw this one in on a whim.
Yeah, I mean it's a problem we created for ourselves, but yeah.
I started using this app called Band Helper, and so it's like a website function and whatever, and I can put in all of our tunings and guitars for each song, and that helps a lot than trying to just remember it all in your head. So
Crazy.
that's a big help.
I wasn't gonna ask about it, but you brought it up a couple times. Album 11. Are you guys already talking album 11? Like,
We are in early phases.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, is it just at this point where there must be a semblance of freedom, obviously, and doing it on your own terms, especially with, I feel like the matching of you guys with Epitaph is a great one. Epitaph has got such a great community of artists that are really spearheading a lot of their particular microcosms of music.
Sure, yeah.
So is it just kind of like, does the label let you do your thing and go, we'll see you on the other side?
We've always essentially had that. The
Yeah.
most we ever had any kind of label involvement in the writing was at Island, but it was never like forceful. It was just kind of like, I like this song, and that song ended up not on the record because we tried to rework it too many times.
Okay.
So, but they, whatever that one.
I don't don't even know
I
what
don't
you're
like
talking
it.
about at this point. Anyway.
It had potential, and then it
For
died.
artist?
No, on Visu.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's got it in a Pro Tool session.
No,
somewhere.
it came out on a video game. That was its
Ah.
glory.
It did?
Yeah. It's a racing game.
What, Way to Glory?
No.
No.
The working title is Hot Todd.
It was Hot Todd, huh?
Yeah. I have no idea what we called it. I forgot about that song completely.
I know it, but I can't remember.
That's so funny. And again,
I don't like
So
it at all.
there is a Thrice song hanging out somewhere only in a video game. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Maybe.
It's on YouTube.
That's pretty funny.
Yes, sorry, what was the question?
Heading towards album 11. Label.
Yeah.
You were talking
Label's
about
good,
the label,
yeah. Yeah, we are probably going to track most of this one ourselves, which we haven't done.
In a
Well,
while.
the last record we did track a lot of it ourselves, but I think we're going to track the whole thing ourselves this time.
Cool.
We just built out a spot, which is kind of the first time we've had a spot that can house like all our storage and recording and practice and everything. So
It's very. You did that for Alchemy and Beggars, was that correct?
kind of.
Kind of.
It was a very small spot in Tebe's garage.
Yes.
And yeah, this is more of like an actual spot.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah.
My last question, which is actually probably going to be a really hard one to answer, but if you had to pick 3 Thrice songs to show someone who'd never heard Thrice before, to give them an idea.
Do they have to be the recording of that song?
No.
So they could
3
be like
songs
a
in
new
any
recording.
context.
Okay.
What would they be?
I'd say Earth Will Shake. I feel like that's kind of stood as like
That's fair, yeah.
something that it's just we play it almost every show. We like it. People like it. I think it's got a lot of unique stuff going. Different time signatures, really groovy. I always think about
Drop
that as
G.
like a drop A.
Drop A.
Yeah, we actually tracked it as like an actual drop A, and now it's like baritone drop A.
Oh, okay.
Just because we had too many tunings, so we figured out how to play it on a different.
It
guitar.
actually transferred over pretty seamlessly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was weird.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense, I guess, because the baritone is E with B on
Oh
the
yeah.
bottom. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're in B standard, right?
Right.
We had to move where the shapes were, but the shapes worked, right? Was that what it was, or did we change the shapes?
I don't know.
Anyway.
It worked. It
Yeah.
worked fine. Earth Will Shake.
I think Earth Will Shake.
So
well,
bad.
it's hard.
Sorry.
I don't know. I feel like I hate the recording of it, but I think Silhouette's a song that like could still be on a new record that we did if we recorded it now, but it sounds awful on the record.
That lovely Riley Steele snare.
Yeah. I don't know. That's another one. It's got good groove. It's got fun time stuff, weavy guitar things, melodic, heavy.
I suppose with those 2 songs especially, you've had enough time to see them stand very
Yeah,
well
they-
live. They're
they
staples at
hold
this
their
point,
own.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking through. The stuff that like lives always. Maybe Daedalus.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah.
Daedalus,
That's
we
not
like
what I'd
playing.
expect.
Our sound guy actually hates that song for some reason, but people like it and we like it. And I feel like it's a good example.
He
of
just thinks we
something.
suck at playing it, I think.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Any other input from you? You think that's a pretty fair example?
I'm going to roll with that. There's no way I
Alright.
can think of that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to hang.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you got to pick